What is up, everybody? Episode 12 of the Beasts and Billions podcast. I'm with champion of Cage Fury, Blake Bilder. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How about you?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored, bro.
So we had 2 weekends ago, you had a title fight. What was it? How'd you prepare for the fight going into it? Was it like, did you think it was going to be a tough opponent? Were you like, what was the preparation going into it?
Yeah, man. It was super tough. I mean, like, I knew that he was a game opponent. I know that because Glover Teixeira is the UFC light heavyweight champ, that he's got big bodies around him, really high level guys. And I know a lot of people are heading over there to go train at that camp. I know Sabina Mazo and this guy Art, that's a really good Brazilian fighter in LFA. Was out there training with him too. Those are a couple people that I trained with out here in Orange County. And I know that he's just got a ton of people stacked and he's got solid training. He's a good black belt too. So I knew all this going in, and I never underestimate any opponents. But I know that for me, I feel strong and I feel confident in my preparation and in everything that I'm doing right now. So I just knew that I'd be ready and willing to die when I get into that fucking cage, and that nobody could stop me, especially with, the circumstances that I was going under. I had calculated everything and I was ready for whatever came my way that day.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that fight live on Fight Pass, which is how I found you. And the first round was tough. Like, you weathered a storm. I mean, yeah, that was tough. I mean, there was times where I was like, okay, this might be it. And then the second round came back. So I wanted to ask, because I love mixed martial arts, and everyone has a different experience. But when you get dropped, what's going through your mind? Like, are you like, oh shit, or are you like, oh,
Yeah. No. That's a great question, Sutton. So yeah, like, dude, like, so me and my boxing coach, like my new boxing coach, Flame, bro, this guy's like the fucking man, bro. He's so sick with it, bro. And a little backstory, I went to his gym to train with another guy, and I'm talking to him, Sutton, and I'm like, yo, he's like, oh, are you in a fighter? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, around here, he's like, you see these guys on the walls, I create world champions. I go, damn, he does. Like, he's like 43-0 with 39 knockouts, like fucking crazy shit, bro. Like, I get there, this guy's a week out from a world title fight for boxing, and they win. I was out from my first title shot for CFFC, and the other coach that I went to work with wasn't there, and he's about to leave, and he had showed me some stuff, how he flows with his guys and how he slips punches, and it was so sick, bro. It was like, oh my god, the way he just, like, you could just see like the energy and the flow of how the punches came, and the movement patterns, and I was like, yo, hey, real quick, before you leave, could you show me something? He goes, hey, Poppy, I would show you, but we don't do that numbers game bullshit. And he's like, me and all my guys program. So even if I did go to show you something, it wouldn't even make sense in the fight because we didn't program together. And I was like, this is the baddest motherfucker I've ever met in my life, bro. Just so sick, and like that mindset, I was like, damn, this fool's crazy. So going going back to your question, in the fight, bro, we program. It's different, bro. Like, we run drills and program patterns, and we program pattern recognition. And so, like, if I had been the old me, I think it was like smart for Reggie to be that confident against me, because perhaps, who knows, like maybe in like a multiverse or another like different reality, he could have made something happen. But going into this fight, bro, everything's programmed. So like even today, bro, like we're spinning with our head down, and like you spin for like 30 seconds, right? And then you go up and you make no facial expression, blank stare, breathing heavy, and it's like you got rocked.
Right.
And we train, so we program all of this. So when I get cracked, like I like he touched me with the left, and it sat me down, and I well, I got dropped in the last fight too, but before those two, I had never gotten dropped before. Like I like I'd never really been hurt in a fight. And in the first title fight, I wasn't hurt, but it just moved my head, and I was like, whoa, I was like, all right, I got to defend myself. In this fight, it didn't hurt, but it was just kind of like a flash. And then I was like sitting down. I was like, am I getting knocked out? And I was like, fuck that. I was like, hell no. And so I get back up, and I'm just like, and it's just all programming, bro. Like if we're not like hurt, even if we are hurt, bro, we still don't show it. We don't show them anything. We could be like bad hurt, but we program to be emotionless and to show zero facial expression, and always just have a poker face and calm breathing, even when we're rocked and dazed, until we get our footing down, and we have a certain program that we run for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really important because if you show any sort of weakness, I mean, it just goes back to fighting. Cage fighting is the most primal shit that you can get to in today's day and age. Modern
Facts.
gladiators. We're modern
day gladiators.
And so when you got to train to be in the most uncomfortable situations, and it's hard to mimic getting rocked.
Yeah.
But also it's hard to when you get rocked your first time, you don't know how to act. And if it's in a cage, then that's even worse, because that's gonna 9 times out of 10 result in a loss.
Yeah, bro, I'm so cerebral. So like when I went down, I was like, well, fuck. I was like, this isn't going as planned. Like, and I see what he's hitting me with, and like I'm also calculating that at the same time. Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. He's going head, body, head. I go, he's leading with his jab, but he's dropping it. I go, he keeps his right hand low so he can load up on that left hook. He's leaning forward on that step, so it's throwing him off balance. Like I'm reading and calculating all these things as I'm going against them. And then you see things like in the second round, like at the end of the first round, I think he was like a little bit surprised of like, oh shit, like, hey, this guy is different, a different breed. Like I keep telling people, but they're not listening. It's like, bro, I'm not a human being, bro. Like I'm a fucking alien. I'm a fucking animal, bro. I keep telling people, but they just don't get it. So I just got to keep saying it to them. And in the second round, bro, we ran a certain program called combing the hair, and boom, that led to the knockdown and almost potentially a stoppage in the second round, but he recovered well, and then oh man, did the momentum shift, and so did his face, bro. And then because the first round he came out with a menacing look, but after the first round, that look was gone, bro. That look was gone. I seen it, and I go, we ran a certain program, comb the hair, and boom, dropped him, and almost got him out of there. And then third round, we switched over to different programming, and I mean, you saw the combinations that we were going. And you know what's crazy, son, is like, bro, in all my fights and all my MMA fights, I never really stood up. I was always like a little hesitant or like afraid to commit. But in this fight, because of all the programming that we have done and skill training and confidence that I had, and also just like what the spirit that I was carrying into the cage that night, I just had the most confidence that I've ever had in my entire life.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see it, and it just goes back to kind of um, when you hit somebody with everything you have, and you're this close to getting them out, you're just like, ugh, you just lose confidence.
Yeah,
And when you like
yeah,
go back to what you said earlier, if you show just the tiniest bit of weakness, that's blood in the water, and 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 that's
yep,
what goes back to it being primal. We're animals, and when we see weakness, we're gonna pounce
yes.
on you, and it just that's just perfect representation of what it is. Exactly, exactly.
Animals, baby. Hey, check it out, check it out, check it out. Animals, baby.
That's so sick.
Let's go.
But I mean, if you show weakness against, especially against a game opponent,
Yeah.
they're gonna pounce on you.
Yeah, veterans. See, that's it's a lot of like the programming, the mindset, and like the shift of consciousness and like the paradigm shift that's happening because it's like because you are what you repeatedly think about all day long, bro. Like I don't care who you are, we are what we repeatedly think about, and that's why they say repetition is the father of learning.
Yes.
And that's true because um when we program certain patterns and we program certain maybe affirmations that are good for us or limiting beliefs into our subconscious mind, man, it manifests into a reality in either good ways if we're giving ourselves positive affirmations or in like or in ways where like we will limit ourselves and hold ourselves back from something that could be great. And those are the moments that show like bro, me practicing being emotionless, like programming like big breaths made me calm and made me confident in the fight because I had done it a million times, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you do something 10,000 times, you're gonna be really good at it. And it just goes back to the Bruce Lee expression. I fear a man who practices one thing 10,000 times than a man who practices 10 different things 1,000 times.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because you know, it's like Malcolm Gladwell said in his book, you know, Outliers, you know, it's like the 10,000 hour rule
Yeah.
or maybe like the 10,000 attempt rule, you know, it's like you know, it takes about he said it takes $10,000 or 10,000 hours to become a master at anything. And I think that's true. I think that's true.
Sure.
And you know, it's just practicing. But where a lot of people mess up is like they do things that in the they're practicing and going about things in a way where it's not even going to pertain to their life or the fight or anything in it. It's like all lazy, like autopilot, like BS. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get out of anything, you're gonna get out what you put in. Of anything,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's a relationship or your job
exactly.
or
Yep.
if you're an athlete. You get out what you put in. So if you do it half-assed, then you're gonna get a half-ass, 2-2 record, or you're
Yep.
gonna get a half-assed record or a half-assed salary or a half-assed relationship. I mean,
Yep.
but if you give it everything you have, even if you lose, even if you get dropped and you get knocked out, and you're like, I went through training camp, I didn't skip a meal, I
Yep.
made weight perfectly, I didn't skip a training session, everything went smooth, he just was the better man today, then that just is so much better. You're just in a such better headspace because you did everything right, and sometimes it just isn't your day. And in fighting, the sport we all know and love, there's a thing called a puncher's chance, and you can get hit with some
Yeah.
shit, and you could like Matt Serra and GSP. You're telling me
Yeah.
you're telling me Matt
Yeah.
Serra is a better fighter than GSP. No, all due respect to Matt Serra, but GSP is just the greatest of all time.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, and you look at George St. Pierre. You know, he got too comfortable. He got
Yeah.
too confident, and he thought he said he only trained a few times for that fight. He was out at the club, out at the bars, partying, enjoying himself, and he thought that he would walk through them. And he said that was one of the biggest one of the biggest learning lessons that he had to make, you know, because like all those people that you're partying with at the club with, at the bar with, drinking, doing whatever, man, none of those people, I doubt any of those people are hitting them up, you know.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's probably to go do more of the same.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make those people bad people. It just doesn't align with a champion's mentality.
For sure. Yeah, no, for
Right.
sure. And especially when you're at the magnitude of GSP, people are just going to want to be around you to just say, I was with GSP last night, you know? Like they don't,
Oh, bro.
the amount of people that
Even
care about you is so minuscule.
yeah, I mean, even right now, bro, like now that we won the title and defended the title, like there's a lot of people that like you could I don't know. There's a lot of people that like say that they're happy for you, but they really aren't. You know, there's like a lot of people that wish on your downfall, and you know, because you don't do things their way, or maybe like you switched camps, or maybe like you don't hang out with them as much. They feel like you have changed and you have traded up on them. But really, like the hardest thing for an average person to understand is like the obsession and the lifestyle. You know, all they see is, you know, maybe 15 to 20, you know, 25 minutes tops in that cage under the lights, you know, but what they don't see is the countless amounts of hours, the countless amounts of injuries. Like I had a broken pinky toe and a broken ring finger going into that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a bulged disc in my neck. You know, like, but nobody sees that. And I don't talk about that.
No.
Like I didn't even really like you know, make it that known that my little brother had committed suicide going into that fight. Like there's so many things that people look past, and people didn't really do it too much this time because of the loss that I had in my family. But you see it a lot, bro. People are like, "Oh, you changed up, you switched up on us, like da 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 da," and like you don't make time for me anymore, like you don't hit me up, and it's like, and it's always like people that like you never even called in the first place.
Right.
Like,
For
oh,
sure.
we don't even hang out when you come back into town. I'm like, we
Yes.
never hung out when I was in town. Like, what are you talking about?
For sure. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, for sure.
So
I mean, just even having this podcast and having 12,000 followers on Instagram, which isn't a lot, but when you're relating it to
hey,
people,
but it's something though. That's good.
yeah, and when you're relating it to people that have like 1,000 or 500, it's like when you're in town, they just want to hang out with you to be like, I was with him yesterday, and then when they leave,
Yeah.
they go and talk reckless about you, make up fake stories about you, especially for someone like you who has a belt, and you're like, I'm the champion. They're like, he's not that good. He got lucky, or especially with the media.
Yeah.
MMA
Yeah, yeah,
media
yeah.
is fucking horrendous. It's
Yep.
awful. People like
It's
Ariel
the
Helwani just
worst,
bullshit.
bro. Oh my gosh.
And that's like the one thing I
Yeah.
despise about
Yeah, bro.
about
You
our
know, so it's
sport.
like you
I just hate the media. That's the only thing I despise about our sport, because the media just says whatever they want and just gets away with it. Like Stephen A. Smith, I'll
yeah.
never forgive him for what he said about Cowboy when
Oh my gosh.
that pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that
Oh,
made me mad.
I know that guy is like such a I don't know, man. I try not to speak like about anybody, but there's certain things where it's just like, bro, if you've never done it or don't really understand it, like you can't even talk about it, bro.
For sure. I
I
completely
think I think literally everybody should have one smoker fight. 3 2-minute rounds. 3 2-minute. And then like after the 3 2-minute rounds with your family there, their family there, maybe get some cameras going. Uh I think everybody should have that in place, and then I think it'll humble the world, you know, if everybody just had to do one.
Yeah, I completely agree. I could not agree more. And it goes from judges too. Like just awful judging. is awful too. And it's like, have you ever even thrown a punch like competitively? Like,
Oh man.
it's like I just can't stand people who have not a clue what's going on, or and then they're like, they can judge a fight, they can they can ref a fight. Like some refs are like, do you know what you're doing? Like it's just, I feel like in order to be in that position of power, because when you think about it, being a ref and being a judge is two of the most important things in a fight, because a ref is either
Absolutely
protecting you, but also is screwing you. He can, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
the judge can also screw you. And it's not like football. You can get them next weekend. Like if you get a loss, that you can only have so many of them, and you're not going to make it to the big leagues.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. It's like before my first loss, I was 33-0. And I remember I made it to the National Golden Gloves, and me and the Upper Midwest team went down to Lafayette, Louisiana, and I won my first fight against Omaha, Nebraska, and it was a close fight, but I for sure got robbed by New Jersey, and the ring captain was my roommate, and he comes up to me at breakfast, and he goes, "That was one of the worst robberies I've seen in a while." I was 33-0. And I was in the quarterfinals at nationals. And the Upper Midwest gets no love. Sometimes it's a lot of politics with boxing.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember he grabbed my shoulder. He's like, one of the worst. He's like, "I'm the ring captain. One of the worst decisions I've seen in boxing." Even the guy's corner was like, "Yeah, we got blessed." And and I remember I just started choking back tears. Fuck, man. It's just it was so heartbreaking, bro. That's why fighting out in New Jersey, that was left a bad taste in my mouth. I go, yeah, I remember losing in New Jersey once. That shit ain't never happening again. Yeah, so I came with a little bit more of a fire lit under my ass than people realize. My first ever loss, 33-1, was fucking New Jersey in the quarterfinals and the Golden Gloves, and that guy lost a split decision in the finals at the Cajun Dome in Lafayette, Louisiana, for middleweight.
So what made you jump from boxing to MMA?
I went from MMA. Well, actually, I take that back. So when I first started, I was boxing. When I first anything, I first started training in boxing when I was 17. And I remember my boy Manuel Contreras Jr. He had 180 fights, bro. He was fucking silver glove champion, won the ringside worlds, Olympic qualifier, beat a 2-time national champion, top ranked in the country. And oh, sorry, somebody was calling me. But yeah, my boy Manny. You there? My bad. Somebody was calling me. But my boy Manny hit me up, and fuck, sorry. One of my friends was calling me. My boy Manny got me into it, and me and him, he was like, "Hey, you can only spar me, and that's it. You can't spar anybody else in the gym." He's like, "Cause these guys are assholes, and they'll take your soul from you. They'll take your spirit, your fighting spirit away." I was like, "Okay." So I sparred with him for a year, bro. He's 6'4", white Mexican, bro. Looked like a weddle, and this fool fucked me up every single day, bro. It was a year of hell, bro. I didn't even know why I boxed. I had headaches all the time. I fucking hated it, but I loved it. I just loved the gym environment. It was a place to escape for me, and I just felt like I was making progress in life. And I remember one night, bro, everybody was kind of goes, "All right, we're gonna add in we're gonna add in takedowns. We're gonna do MMA." I was like, "All right." And so fucking he backs me up with a double jab, and then shoots a takedown and gets me on my back, passes my guard easy, gets to mount, and he's above me like this, and I was like, "Tap, fucking tap! Oh my god!" And I was looked up, and he's like, I'll win. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, bro, if I don't learn this ground shit, I was like, I'm a little minnow in shark water, bro. I'm done for. And so I made the switch from that day, I think like within a couple months. And I was training with BJ Penn's wrestling coaches, Joy and Jake Clark, and a bunch of guys like at this new gym that had started up called Ambition MMA. And
That
then later,
you go.
keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say that's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I knew, like, I love boxing. Like, it's my first love, but I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, I need to learn more, bro. I was like, I don't know anything about clinch. I don't know how to throw elbows. I don't know how to throw knees. I was like, I don't know how to throw kicks. And I felt like with boxing, like I had kind of like reached max capacity of where I was at. And I told my coach to get me like my USA boxing card all taken care of. And he never did it. You know, he was like a Hell's Outcast and shit. So I don't know. He was busy doing his thing. He didn't believe in me, or I don't know what. You know, maybe a little bit of both. But I tried, and he never got me registered, so I never got any fights. And then I had a few kickboxing matches. I had like 2 MMA fights, and then I signed up for the Golden Gloves in Macon, Georgia, in 2013, and and I wanted to prove it to myself. It was like my lifelong goal to win the Golden Gloves, because my boy Manny, you get this blue jacket, and it says like what region you're from, and it says the Golden Glove champion, and
Yep.
it says like Upper Midwest Golden Glove, and bro, it's fucking sick, bro. And I wanted that jacket so bad, bro. I'd be wearing it right now if I got it. But I won it. I won the Golden Gloves in 2013, bro. I won it. It was my first boxing matches, but they couldn't send me to Spokane, Washington in 2013 because I didn't have enough fights. I was 0-0. My first fight was a bye, so I didn't have a fight. And then I fought on Sunday, and then beat that guy, beat this Egyptian dude, came back the next week. So you fight 2 weeks in a row. Came back the next week. I won. I beat this one dude. So I was 2-0 right then and there, and then I beat this guy like Eddie something. He was like all tatted up. Beat that fool, and I was 3-0. And then everybody for middleweight, not everybody got to go to Spokane, Washington, but they couldn't turn me pro because I only had 3 fights.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know what happened, bro. Like, who knows? Like, I just know I never got like the ticket in the mail to like go. And it was like, I don't know, but I was deemed the Georgia state champion for boxing, and I won for my region.
So what's next for you in MMA? Like what's
So what's next for me? And
goal?
well, right now, we have a 3-fight contract with CFFC with contingency to get released if we get hit up or are offered to get signed by UFC and Bellator. We have right now we have like some negotiations. I can't really say anything right now, but right now we got a few negotiations going on with some high level promotions, and actually we might do a pro boxing. I might get my pro boxing debut.
That's interesting. That's real interesting. There's not many people that dabble in boxing and MMA. Like I know you see like Jake Paul calling out like Tyron Woodley, boxing Ben Askren, Conor McGregor boxing Floyd, and Ngannou and Fury, but you don't see like really one high level boxing and MMA. So that's actually very unique.
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, my goal, I wrote it down years ago, you know, and everything that's happened has happened. So it's like, it's kind of freaky, bro. It's also like pretty cool too, you know, like how things manifest like with like specific intention written down like so many times. It's unreal. And my goal always was to be a world champion in boxing and MMA. So that's always been the goal.
That'd be actually very cool thing to achieve, because I don't think it's ever been done before at a high level.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And I'm like a white boy with a Mexican nickname. Like, bro, like somebody like that is just built different,
Yeah, so built different. So I kind of wanted to transition, and let's talk about mental health. I know you lost your brother due to mental health. What's advice for anybody going through any tough times out there? What would you say?
Oh man, it's hey, bro, mental health is such a tricky. It's so tricky, right? Because some people have depression, and no matter what it is, right? Like we have, I have depression, and then it's like, and then, people are like, oh, but is it clinical? So, it's like, dude, fucking depression is depression. It's like, maybe it is clinical, bro. You don't even know. Like, oh, just because it's clinical, like this person deemed it clinical, that it makes it worse than this. Like, no, like, I don't know, like I get what people mean, but it's a tricky place, and it's it's tough, man, because a month before Braden took his life, bro, he hit me up, and he was like, I fucked up. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I swallowed some sleeping pills. And I was like, how much is some? And he's like, a whole bottle. And I like, bro, I started crying, and I was just like, fuck, dude. I was like, three things. I was like, one, I love you. Two, thank you for calling.
What's going on?
So I go, Braden, you're twice the man that I am. I go, I didn't, I go, I laid in my bed and was ready to accept my fate. My older brother knew like something was up. He's like, hey, are you all right, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm just tired. And he was like, okay. He's like, let me know if you need anything. I'm like, all right, I got you. And then like I told him three, I go, dude, you need to get to a hospital and get some help, bro. I was like, I go, make some coffee right now. I go, bro, if you need money, I'll Venmo you like $20. I was like, get fucking coffee and go to the go to the Starbucks on the way. I was like, but go to a hospital, go get your stomach pumped. They'll put coal in your stomach, and it'll take all that shit out of your stomach. And he was like, all right. He's like, you think I should hit up one of my friends? I was like, bro, hit up anybody, bro. I was like, go. And he's like, I just feel kind of sleepy. I go, don't fucking sleep. Do not sleep. You have to do something, bro. I go, that's way too many pills. I go, what's wrong with you, bro? He's like, oh no. I go, hey, right now you immediately regret that shit, huh? And he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, you don't want that? I go, bro, trust me. I go, when I was puking, I was like, I pray to God. I go, hey, God, if there's a reason for you to keep me alive, 100%, I will do whatever you want, but keep me alive. I don't know your plan for me, but if you're real, if 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 you want me to do more and you have a purpose for me, keep me alive. And I lived through it, and a month, it's like I kept in touch with them. Like that night, I was, hey, you good? You good? I went to like a meeting type deal, and I get done, and I was like, "Hey, you good? You good? You good?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm fine." He's like, I'm gonna be all right. He's like, "I'm just sleepy, so I'm just gonna lay down and get some sleep and chill out for the rest of the night." I go, "All right." I go, "But you're good." He's like, "I'm good." And then a month later, me and him were in touch. We were talking about it. Like we talk about depression all the time. Like, and I think people mistake like other people's lives. Like I'm one of the happiest people I know, hands down. Hands down, I am one of the happiest people I know, and I still had suicidal thoughts every single day, probably for like the last 10 years.
For sure.
Almost every single day, bro. Like depression, like bro, I like look where I live. Like I live in Southern California, like fucking palm trees, beautiful sky, like amazing, incredible, bro. Like like I recognize how blessed I am, and like how amazing it is to be here. And bro, I was waking up a lot of days and being like, man, what's the point? Like I'm just not feeling it. I can't handle the pressure. I just I can't deal with it. It's just too much, like and then like leading into fights, bro, when you feel like that and you're uncertain, you have your doubts, you're like, fuck, man, like anxiety hits because you're like, I'm gonna get fucking knocked out, or I'm gonna get embarrassed on TV, and maybe I can't handle that, and maybe I fall into a deep depression because of that, and I can't look people in the eyes. It was like for me, bro, it was always like life or death. And I think a lot of people treat a lot of things like that too, and thank God I never did. And since seeing my little brother, like I would have to say to anybody that's watching that, like, man, if you fucking really give it your all, you would be amazed at how things can change if you just give yourself like just another day and just focus on that day and how much you can make it better. Like there's so many things that can happen so quick. Like since I saw my brother, like you touch his body, he's just cold and deceased, and his neck's like this because he hung himself. It's like, fuck, bro. Like I looked at him and I was like, man, I can never think like this again.
Yeah.
I can never think like this again. So depression, yeah, I can get sad. I can feel bad about something, but I don't get depressed. I don't even align with that. Like people, if somebody, and even if other people say it, I'll tell them like, hey, like you shouldn't align with that frequency, with like that. It's like tune out of that channel, like, get out of that programming. It's like because people don't throw it around. People say it because that's how they're actually feeling. But I think a lot of the time, like when like using these I am statements, like I am, whatever comes after it is like an affirmation, right? Like I am depressed, like, oh, I'm anxious, or like I do this because of my anxiety. It's like you're just like reaffirming and repressing that into your like nervous system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like and that's why it's so tricky, right? And then like even when Braden um committed suicide, there's a lot of people that will and it's so subtle, right? And nobody's doing it on purpose, but people are like they'll have like a downward fluctuation of their voice of like, hey, you all right? And like, fuck, dude, if you're not all right, that that pushes you into yourself, and you go into like this, your physiology changes. So Tony Robbins in a speech a while back, he goes, change your physiology, change your psychology. And I'm like, huh? And it's like open, wide stance like this, open, happy. It's like, have you ever seen somebody like, oh my gosh, like that's so sad? Like
Yeah.
not unless you're a psychopath, right? Like
Yeah,
you're
literally.
not crying, you're not like this. You're like, I'm just having the best day ever in my entire life. Like I'm just so happy, you know? And it's like not one person, bro. Not one person. Why? Because your physiology, what you do with your physical body affects your psychology.
Right.
So that's why they say get up, make your bed, take action, do something nice for somebody because of what it does with your physiology. You're up and moving and grooving and going about your day. And and for me, bro, I make sure that I make sure that I'm positive, and like if somebody's like a lot of people have been hitting me with this lately, and it's not their fault, right? Like people are just trying to do their best. They don't sometimes they just don't even know. Like they're like, hey, like you all right? Like you good? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm doing really good. Like life is amazing, and I'm feeling actually like very blessed, and I'm very thankful and grateful for everything that I have in the present moment right now. And and they're like, are you sure you're good? You're good? I'm like, yes, yes, I'm good. How are you? Are you okay? Is everything all right with you? But I won't say it with a downward fluctuation in my voice. Are you good? And it's like, I'm like, are you good? Is everything, upwards, like bringing it upbeat and like, but people, I understand that a lot of people don't know like the power of like tonality and everything as well. So it's just like I understand where people come from, and I understand the intentions behind what they're I understand people's intentions, even if their words don't match up with like what they're trying to get across. Because I understand that like some people aren't as effective with their communication skills, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything you're saying. And in an earlier podcast episode, one of my friends, he said he's also a young entrepreneur, and he said this kind of attributes to mental health as well. But on the days you want to quit, whether that's you want to quit, you don't want to go to training today, or you don't want to go lift, or you don't go work out, you don't want to do anything, quit tomorrow. Always tell yourself,
Yeah,
tomorrow I'll quit, and eventually
yeah,
like tomorrow is an everlasting thing. So and that's just kind of the way, when I'm dealing with like depression, like I'm just having a super shitty day, and I'm just like, maybe this time my time is running out. Like I'm in, everyone feels that, right? There's so many days
yep,
where you just wake up and you're like, if I didn't wake up this morning, I wouldn't be upset.
big
I just
time.
got so much shit to do. I'm nervous about a job interview, or I'm nervous about a fight. I'm nervous
Yep,
about whatever it is. I don't want to face the music of a fuck up I had yesterday, whatever
yeah,
it is. And so I always just tell myself when the alarm sounds that I'm gonna quit tomorrow. I'm gonna give it my all today, and I'll quit tomorrow. And it's an everlasting thing. And I think that's all that goes into mental health as well. Just always tell yourself, I will quit tomorrow.
yeah. You know what? I really really like that. If anybody's like whoever's watching, that's so important. Because like sometimes, man, like the days just fucking pile up, and you can just feel overwhelmed. And I always tell people like don't make a permanent decision on a temporary feeling.
For sure.
And like I also heard a guy say this, and I think this will help a lot of people out. Is like because we need to talk about this stuff, because if we don't, it bottles up, right? And it
Right.
bottles up and it bottles up, and then we explode, right?
100%.
And what this one guy told me, he goes, a lot of people talk about fear, and my acronyms for fear is either face everything and recover, or fuck everything and run, right? And so it's just like it's like one or the other. It's kind of like what you were saying too. It's like I can face everything, but fuck, I don't want to. But if you don't face it, then you're running from it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two options. Like your inaction is action in and of itself. So
Yeah.
you either take action or you don't take action, and that's still an action, not taking action, which is
Right.
like fuck. But the best one is this. The best one's this, son. FIFER, false evidence feeling real. Because the process of manifestation, I read it in a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and obviously it's about economics, but it's mainly about like spiritual, emotional, and relational riches. So
Right.
it's saying like complaining, blaming, and justifying. Take your thumb to your throat and slit your throat, because complaining, blaming, and justifying is doing a detriment to you and the people around you. That if you're complaining, you're not grateful, and the people that you're talking to and you're complaining to, it's falling on deaf ears, and typically they'll just wait for their turn to complain. Blaming, it's everybody's fault but yours. It's always a scapegoat. It's always somebody else or something else, right? It's never you. So when you can take 100% responsibility, game changer. And then justifying, well, I'm like this because this happened when I was 5 years old.
Yep.
And it's like, well, like this person said that I was dumb in second grade, so I can't be smart, or I can't show that I'm smart. I'm just dumb. And It's all programming. So the process of manifestation is this: thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions or inactions, which leads to a result. And the only thing that comes before those four things is programming. So that's the program. That's how the process of manifestation is. It's like you have a thought. It's about maybe a business idea or doing a podcast, right? And then you have a feeling. Oh shit! Fuck yeah! You feel good about yourself. You believe in yourself, like you, Sutton. You're like, fuck yeah, podcast! I'd kill that shit. I talk to so many cool people, and so you take action on it, and then here we are.
Right.
Now, say you aren't the man that you are. Say that somebody called that idea dumb. Like, bro, what? Like, you're gonna start a podcast? Like, who do you think you are?
Right.
And so you think about that. You think about having a podcast, and then the feeling is like, oh man, that guy that I really admire, that girl that I really think is cute, said that it was stupid, and then it goes back to old programming. Well, yeah, I have had some pretty dumb ideas in the past, as far as like all this history back here. Oh, yep, look. Oh, yep, dumbass in 2007. Oh, yeah. No, stupid fucking 2002.
Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dumbass in 2001. And then that programming is like, oh, yeah, what the fuck are you thinking? You're stupid. You're a dumbass. You can't do this. So you don't feel good. You don't take action. You take inaction because you don't want to be a dumbass anymore. And the results, this shit never happens.
Exactly. And
so it all goes back to the programming and your
yeah,
thoughts.
the programming, it goes, I heard Joe Rogan say, tough times make tough men. Tough men make easy times. Easy times make weak men, and weak men make hard times.
Oof.
And that really hits deep because, it seems like it's a constant cycle. And I feel like just when you get over a tough time, you're tough. And then you start cruising, right? You cruise for a little bit. And then you're just like, fuck, this happened. Whether that's your girlfriend dumped you, you got knocked out, you got embarrassed at the gym, whatever it is, you drop. And then you're going to go through that tough time because you're comfortable. And then it's just an everlasting cycle. And I think that goes back to quitting tomorrow. Whenever you're facing a tough time, quit tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's like that's so true, bro. We always try and take the path of least resistance, right?
Sure.
So that's why taking the hardest road is typically most beneficial. It's like, bro, like for all my fights, bro, I've just been it's most of the time it's like I wasn't more skilled. I was just a gritty bastard. Like I just did. I was almost like Forrest Gump. Like I just felt like running. Like I was like almost too stupid to stop, you know? Like, hey, you were really hurt in that fight. And you just kept going. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know I didn't know there's another option. You know,
Right.
like I just,
Yes.
like what else am I gonna do? You know, like I'm
Yes.
locked in this cage. I better get busy. You know, it's like my old mentor said. I think it's like from an old Clint Eastwood thing. He said, ain't no living and dying, boy. So you better get busy living. Something like that.
I love that. So tell me, I wanted to talk about the Builder system. Tell me about that, because I see you're doing a lot of good things, and I want to know a little more about it.
Yeah. It's so it's funny, like a lot of people missed it, but like I said, I learned really good in acronyms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So system is, I'm the builder, obviously, that's my name.
Uh-huh.
My last name is Bilder. But system stands for save yourself time, effort, and money. Yeah, so the builder, me, will save yourself time, effort, and money. So I just believe
That's
that,
brilliant.
like, right? And so, like, I just believe this, bro. I truly believe it, and it's my motto, that if you give me a day, I'll change your mind. You give me a month, I'll change your body. You give me a year, I'll change your fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
You
That
know, so
that's huge.
yeah, for me, bro, it's like anything that works for me, like I, it's irresponsible. It's my God-given duty to help those who are struggling. Like, bro, like I've helped so many people lose a bunch of weight. I've helped so many people get free from themselves. I've helped so many people, like, understand that, like, they can live their life in a completely different way, and that it's okay, and that they can be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's like, and typically, like, people will rock with me, but then once they stop rocking with me, all of a sudden they're back to their normal weight. All of a sudden, you know, they're starting to settle in, like, small areas, you know, because I just try and, like, I think, like, the people that I train and the people that I deliver juice to, I try and, like, help them realize that, like, they're a big deal, and you're worth it, and you deserve the best. But I can tell you what to do. I can put you through the sickest workouts, but that's only, you know, if you're getting juice from me, maybe we spend 10 minutes together, 15 minutes together. If you're training with me, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And it's like, man, you got a lot of day left, you know? So it's like, I gotta teach men and women and people how to educate themselves. The word in Latin is educo, and that's to educe knowledge. That's what education stands for. So educating somebody is like teaching somebody how to fish. You know, it's like making people, you know, a fisher of men, you know, where they, like, I always tell people, I'm like, hey, if you're still training with me a year from now, it's because you want to, not because you need to. Like, I want you to be able to go off and do this on your own by yourself, and be able to like live and 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 be prosperous in your relationships, and in your health, and emotional well-being, like all of this. Hey, look, hey, check it out. The roommate's coming back. He's got a he's got a plexiglass. We're making a juice cart.
That's sick.
So they got a juice cart for the builder system juice. The builder juice system. Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to touch on is your take on microdosing mushrooms and cannabis.
This is the one. This is the one right here. Sutton, a lot of people are scared of it. A lot of people are scared of it, bro. And look, man. Okay, Wim Hof, right?
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a madman. Look, anybody listening that doesn't know who Wim Hof is, go don't stop listening to this. Keep listening. Boop, 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 boop. Keep listening. Keep listening. Keep listening. But on another browser, pull up Wim Hof, the Iceman. This guy's like climbing mountains in his shorts. He's staying in freezing ice cold water for the longest periods of time, and he learned how to control his autonomic nervous system, where he gets injected with poisons and viruses, and through breathing he alkalines his blood and eradicates the poison or virus from working. And they tell him after years and years of, oh, that's no way, absolutely not. Well, he does it, lab tested, scientifically proven. And they go, how long would it take for you to teach somebody how to do this? He goes, I don't know, maybe like 10 days. And he does it in 2. And so he teaches all these people how to do it in 2 days, right? Well, guess what? My little brother kills himself. Bro, I'm like freaking out. Like, I've never had a panic attack in my life. I'm having panic attacks. I'm in the gym. I'm supposed to be getting ready for this fight. I'm running on the treadmill, and I know I'm not tired. I know that like my nervous system is just being affected, but I have to sit down and I can't fucking breathe. And I feel like crying, and I feel like embarrassed, and I almost don't want to go anywhere. I almost don't want to do anything because I'm like, fuck, man, am I just gonna have a panic attack? And then all of a sudden, I start doing microdosing. And I started giving it a chance, and I was like, man, I was desperate for a change. I was desperate to try something new, and it's been a saving grace. Okay, earlier I said 10 years, at least, since I was in elementary school, bro. Suicidal thoughts, elementary school, like, bro, I remember in 5th grade just being depressed, bro.
Right.
I don't even know why. Just I had that feeling. I was just like, like nobody would miss me if I was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hate myself, and I don't know why. Like, is this normal? Like, do other kids think like this? Like, this is weird. And then like the worst anxiety before all my fights, and maybe rightfully so. I didn't really deal too much with anxiety. Maybe like approach anxiety, like going up to a cute girl that I like. But I think we all have that a little bit, where like it's just like that fear of rejection, maybe, but not too bad with anxiety. But suicidal thoughts, depression. Look, after microdosing, I have not had one suicidal thought. Not fucking one, bro. And I started doing it maybe like a month and a half ago. And then as far as depression, like maybe, hey, look, I'm not saying that it won't happen in the future. I'm just saying that for the past month and a half since I started, nothing. And this is new. Like, this is all brand new. And it's not like I was suicidal every single day, like or like depressed every day, but pretty much, bro, had like a suicidal thought at least once every single day. And I was depressed, like, even when life was like really good, bro. And it sucks because like you're like, you don't want to do anything, and then like your coaches are getting pissed at you because you're not showing up. Right. Really, you're just like, don't like I'm sorry that I didn't show up. Like, I just like I'm trying to like love myself and care about myself, but like I just feel like slamming my fucking car into a median. So like, oh, and then it adds on to it because you're like, well, fuck, now I'm gonna piss this person off, and it's like, fuck, it's just, and it compounds in crazy ways. That's why it's so tricky, bro. It's so tricky. And yeah, wait till put it off till tomorrow. Quit tomorrow, like you said. And but I haven't had anything since, bro. And that it's the craziest thing. And with weed, I don't smoke weed at all, but I'll tell you what, I don't have anything against it. And bro, I go to AA. I identify as an addict, as an alcoholic. And bro, since I started microdosing, not saying that it won't happen in the future. Maybe maybe one day I'm like, oh man, I'm just I want to start drinking and being a drunk guy. I doubt it, but maybe I decide. So the future will tell, right?
Mhm.
And is it for everybody? Maybe. Is it not for some people? Probably. But I'm just saying this is my own personal experience. And that's all I can speak from. This is my personal experience. And my personal experience says that now when I see my friend doing coke, I'm like, bro, why do you hate yourself? Like what? I'm like, bro, why do you feel so terrible about yourself that you have to snort this? And
Right.
they're like, what? I'm like, dude, that shit's getting cut with fentanyl. I don't care how good you think that shit's or how pure that is. And maybe it is. And maybe bro, like why do you feel the need to do that? And drinking, bro. How many people die every year from alcohol? How many people don't have their fathers or their mothers or whatever because their parents are alcoholics and like did just crazy shit. And name one person that you personally know. Everybody has some crazy ass tale of, oh yeah, I know this guy. He took a big mushroom and he went crazy and he was dancing and being weird. Okay, name one person that you personally know that fucking lost his mind and like killed a family and went nuts. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait. Put it in the comment section. One person. Name one fucking person. Name what? Name. I bet you can name 5 off the top of your hand that have DUIs, DWIs, that did some crazy shit when they were drinking. They like beat their girlfriend beat them, girlfriend, some crazy shit. Ended up in jail, hit somebody, or blacked out, didn't remember nothing. It's like, why is that legal? But a mushroom isn't. It's like, how come I'm having suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, all this? I take this and all of a sudden, a complete and utter shift in consciousness, more empathy, more passion and understanding for myself and my family. And it's like you can't tell me that this isn't powerful. The studies are proving that on like a chart, people that take the microdose, boom, the depression goes away like that, like
Yeah.
this. And they say that the antidepressants is slower, and they said it both goes to the same spot, but one goes boom like this, the other slowly. Well, guess what? If you don't nip that shit in the butt right away, sometimes this dead.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, time is of the essence. And so for me, having gone through the pain that I've gone through, and I don't even like making it about me, bro. It's like oh, like he did this to me, because I'm not a victim. But I'm saying, like, I understand his pain and I was almost there. So that's why it breaks my heart. If anybody has anybody that is going through that and they're talking about like how they tried to, or they attempted, or they're thinking about it, like, man, it's tough to say like what to do, but like I know for a fact that, like, if you have a problem, John Lennon said it best. John Lennon said it best. It's a really good quote. He said there's no problems, only solutions in life. That
Yes,
for every problem there's a solution.
for sure.
That's why the biggest problem solvers in life are the wealthiest people, because they're serving the most people.
Mm.
I'm solving a problem by giving these guys iPhones or Androids and connecting all of them. Now they can get in touch. Apple Pay is quicker if you have an iPhone, or whatever it may be. Like, there's only solutions in life. So if we can take somebody's problem and offer them a solution, I'll tell you what, man. You give a depressed person alcohol, and they lose their fucking mind.
For sure.
You give a depressed person Coke, fucking opium. You give a depressed person fucking you give a depressed person some weed, man. They're not. Chances are, chances are, they're probably not gonna like shoot anybody or do anything crazy. You give a depressed person some mushrooms, and look, maybe this person is like really really down and out. Okay, well you get them in front of a counselor, you get some mushrooms in their system, and you have them start talking about things that are going on and opening up. I've never done ketamine, but I heard ketamine therapy is helping a lot of people. Ayahuasca ceremonies. I've done an ayahuasca ceremony, and it was super helpful. Like there's solutions, but I think the most applicable one would be microdosing mushrooms, and then I personally don't smoke weed. I just do the microdose. I'm just curiously fascinated and a little obsessed with mushrooms based on what I've been through and what I'm like now, and the complete psychic shift and paradigm shift that I've personally experienced from my own personal experience is that it's just been unreal, bro. Like if you have depression, if you have suicidal thoughts, like you suffer you suffer from something like that. Anxiety attacks. I only had a few anxiety attacks, but it's it's pretty traumatic, bro. And for you to be able to like for me to be able to overcome a traumatic event and like have peace with my little brother's death. And that doesn't mean I'm not sad about it anymore. Like, like I feel those feelings, but I've come to terms with it, and I'm at peace and I'm at ease, and I don't have to microdose every day. Like I didn't today, and I had an amazing day. Will I tomorrow? Um, Maybe. It's like it. I don't know. But it's not like I need it. But I will say, like it's been huge, and there's other things. You got to work out.
Mm,
You gotta be good to people. You gotta be good to yourself. You gotta talk kindly to yourself and to other people. You gotta show love. Like you gotta just be kind, man. Just being a kind human being is overlooked so much. And I think if you could just do that and be good to each other and offer some solutions, maybe you tried and it doesn't work. Well, fuck, at least you tried it,
yeah.
right? Like if you're like, oh man, I did that, no, I don't know, I was tripping out too bad, it was too bad. It's like on a microdose, you're not gonna trip out. If you take a bunch, yeah, but I think there's no harm in going for it and trying it out and seeing if it works, man. If people are gonna put you on Adderall, like like man, you cannot tell me that Adderall and Concerta and Ritalin and all that stuff is like good for your health.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I
There's
don't
a
know.
few
To
things.
each their own.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few things that I completely agree. From when I was really young, my mom always told me if it comes from the earth, it's good. Don't
Yeah.
do pills, don't do powders, but if it comes from the earth, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so I figured like you said, name me one person who is taken an edible or took a bong rip or whatever it is. I personally like edibles because I don't like fucking with my lungs.
Right. Yeah.
But took an edible, whatever, however you take your weed, or took a mushroom and started hitting their wife, started killed
Yeah.
a family, um,
Yes.
gets violent with their kids. I,
Yeah.
I mean, name anything really violent at all. Name me
Name
one person.
one. I
One.
can't think of one. And it's always and right side, and it's always like a lifestyle. Oh yeah, the guy he ate a colorful mushroom and he went crazy. And it's like, no, he didn't. What was his name? Where did he grow up? What school did he go to? I want to know. If you know one person personally, like it still doesn't add up to the 10 people that you for sure can name off the top of your head. that have ruined their families' lives because of drinking, that have ruined like their own life from drinking, right?
Yeah, or cocaine or meth,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
I can't name one person. I can't even name the thought. I can't like the thought of even harming anybody. Like if I'm took an edible, I'm literally chilling there. You could be like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
you dumb bitch," and I'm like, "Hey, that's funny. Hey, you're a funny guy."
Yeah.
Whereas if I
Yeah.
was sober, I would want to square up with you and like get cracking with it. So it's like,
Exactly.
name me one person. That's just, and then tell me it's bad, and then look at all the medical benefits. Okay, you don't want to smoke weed, you don't want to eat it, you don't get high. All right, cool.
Yep.
You can still rub oil, you can still use the lotion. I mean,
Yep.
I use CBD lotion, I use CBD fucking
Me
everything
too.
I have is CBD. My body couldn't feel better. I couldn't be at a better
Yep.
place mentally. And the same thing with mushrooms. People were like, "Oh, he took a mushroom and he was crazy." Okay, maybe he was crazy because he was laughing at everything and just his
Yeah.
humor went through the fucking roof. But he's not gonna harm you. He's not gonna scream in your face. Whereas I can
Yep.
name, if I drink this proper 12 or Howler Head right here, and
Yep.
I could just fucking go off the handle on somebody.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like oh yeah, like Conor McGregor, what was he doing when he hit that old man? Drinking. What was Mike Perry doing when he I don't know what's up with fighters hitting old men. Mike Perry, he hit that old guy drinking, right? John Jones crashes into that lady drinking.
Yep.
How many of them are going on mushroom trips and like hitting pregnant women in their car? Or you know, it's just like it's
Or screaming violently
name.
in your face. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
hitting or doing anything, but screaming violently, fuck you, you dumb,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen.
That's why it's like go ahead, I'll wait. I'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Show me the proof. And it's like, and like for me, I'm not a dumb guy. Like I weigh the common denominators, and like, bro, like I said, like, dude, I've been in AA for like over half my life, bro. You know, I've seen the best of the best and the worst of the worst, and I've seen like, bro, this like even like one of my good friends, bro. He took a heroic dose of mushrooms, and like this is a guy that like abused steroids, abused meth, like fucking his whole life, bro. Like famous, like actor, and hasn't touched nothing in like I think 2 years.
That's crazy.
2 years sober. Took a heroic dose. He hit me up the next day. He goes, "Hey, I'm done." I go, "Done with what?" He goes, "Everything." I go, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." And bro, my one of my boys, bro, he's been chewing tobacco 10 years. I hit him up the other day. I go, "Hey, bro, be honest with me. Since me and you took some mushrooms, I go, have you chewed tobacco?" He goes, "To be honest, I haven't." I go, "For real?" He goes, "No." He's like, "Dude, and it's been hard." I go, "Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. 10 years chewing tobacco? I've never smoked cigarettes or chewed tobacco, but you go to a AA meeting, bro. Fuck, they offer a smoke break. You're like, holy shit, there was people in this room, right? There was like 150 people. There's only like 5 left.
Yes.
There's like 5 left, bro. And then you eat a fungus, and all of a sudden, and I think like the microbiome has something to do with a lot with that too. They call that they call it like the first brain. But your gut health is super important in kombucha.
Yeah.
Fermented lactobacillus, super good for the gut health, bro. So getting that gut health correct. And then the psilocybin, it turns into psilocin, I believe. And then it helps connect like new it helps connect synapses, what this does. And yeah, I have nothing. Like your mom said it right. If it comes from the earth, typically pretty good. But then once people start like mixing things and like it starts getting manufactured by man and try to turn into a profit. Fuck, man. Like I
That's where
can,
it's tricky.
yeah. There's so many of my friends that have died from drug overdoses this last year, bro. It's like it's just it's disgusting, bro. Like to see what's out on the streets and like and how far people go down this path, you know. So maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but it's like, man, if somebody is gonna judge me for that, all the more to them. Like, bro, you live your life, I'm gonna live mine. But you know, and to be honest, bro, like 2 months ago, I was like, no, I was like, I'm not taking a, I'm not doing that. And then like once I, you know, and then your back's against the wall, and I'm not taking medication, bro. I don't even take Tylenol.
Right.
Like, you know, like I won't even take Tylenol. I think that shit's crazy. No aspirin, no Tylenol, none of that shit. But a microdose, fuck yeah, dude. From a reliable source, from somebody that you know, like make sure it's reliable, make sure you know what's in it, you know. And you know, if you're struggling and look, man, if you're gonna kill yourself, if you're like been severely depressed, if you're suffering in silence, if you're suffering from anxiety, that I'm saying it helped me. It very well could help you, but it's like give it a shot. Like it's like,
Yeah.
man,
You have
you
nothing
know,
to
it's
lose.
like, yeah, it's like, and like I keep telling myself, if I knew now what I knew then, Braden would be alive. 100%. I already know. I
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
that's
think the mushrooms would have um like it just takes one time, like you keep saying. It just takes
yeah,
one time. Because once you take it, you're just like you're just in such a happy state of mind. Like it's so
bro.
easy.
I mean, I've had when I was younger, I had the most beautiful experiences where I was just like, I remember being down bad, bro, bad breakup, like lost the girl like I thought was the love of my life, the one that got away, which like thank God, you know, now it's like who cares. But like in that moment, bro, when and I was his age when that happened, and it's like, oh God, you just think the world is over, and now it's like, man, and I remember doing that in like critical parts of my life, and it always gave me like a deeper sense of meaning, a bigger sense of belonging. I really felt like connected to myself and connected to the world and people around me, and stuck along. It stuck around long enough for me to like really appreciate uh, life in general. And like, bro, I mean, even recently, bro, like getting off drugs, like not drinking, like fuck, man, I struggled with it my whole life, and it's like, and like I can like look at a friend I see doing coke and be like, oh, and like I've been in the same boat, but it like now I'm like, hey, bro, like why do you hate yourself? Why are you doing that? Why do you have to drink till you're blacked out? Why are you even drinking at all? Like
Yeah.
you don't feel comfortable to just like be yourself. You feel like you have to like pour this into your system for you to feel good.
Yeah.
Like it's like your liquid makeup. Like instead of painting your face like a chick, like you just drink this so you feel like you can have a conversation with me.
Right. I mean,
You know? So
like
I,
it
I
shows insecurity, right?
yeah, yeah, big time. Big time. It's like, you know, it's like I see I see, you know, girls with like the plastic surgery and the fake tits and all that, and like Jesus, what girls are doing to their butts, it's like you know, it's like dude, especially in OC, bro. Oh my God. You know, it's like if you have that, like I'm not trying to talk down on you. I'm more so saying I get that pressure. I understand how much pressure you feel to look beautiful in the eyes of somebody that probably hurt you so bad, and like you're just seeking to be understood. Look, I was almost one of those motherfuckers that got I was gonna get blessed in cursive going down my right eyebrow. I was gonna do it, bro. My coach was like, "Don't do that shit." He's like, "I have to pay for it to get removed." So I get it. I like trust me, I'm not feeling so good that I'm thinking about suicidal thoughts every day. You know, but now that I don't vibrate at that frequency, I don't align with it at all. I just, I have to pull people out of that rut too. And just like even a girl the other day, beautiful girl, she got face tats and everything, bro. And I'm just like, and she's like, yeah, she's like, man, I got to get some fake tits. I go, don't ever do that to yourself. I go, your body's fucking beautiful. Like you're perfect just the way you are. Like, don't go and do that.
Right.
But it's like, it's programming. It goes back to like somebody fucking told me, like, oh, you're just, somebody said some nasty shit because they were just pissed off, and typically it's probably about themselves, like that they're mad with, right?
100%. If you go talking shit about other people, that just shows insecurity about yourself, really.
1000%, bro. It's like if because I'm in a good mood, like I can speak like this and I can like freely think. But it's like if I'm pissed off and I'm mad and angry and my judgment is clouded, like this whole podcast is gonna be completely different, right? I'm gonna be, it goes back to complaining, blaming, justifying. Oh, fucking da 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 da, this person da 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 da, and nothing gets done. And then you leave and you're like, fuck, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I feel bad. And then you talk shit about a bunch of other people, and it's never your fault. And instead of bro, and if you have that mentality of like complaining, blaming, justifying, physically go like this. He says, physically slit your throat because you're cutting yourself off from the world.
Yeah.
Like, take responsibility. Don't justify the bad shit that you do. See it as a problem. Find the solution. Take the lesson. Turn it into a blessing. And then justification. Nah, we don't do that shit no more. We don't justify why we do stupid shit. We just change it.
Yeah.
We don't blame other people. We take responsibility.
100%. Well, man, I appreciate you for your time. We did an hour and a half. So.
Oh shit! Hey.
So I just want to thank you. It was an honor talking to you. And I have one last question.
Yeah.
How do I get one of your shirts?
Oh, let's go, bro. I got a bunch right here. Just shoot me a Venmo. All the money and proceeds are going to help out with Braden's like funeral costs and stuff. So we got "Long Live Braden" on the back. I don't know if you can see that. And then obviously like the Lanny Mouse shirt. They turned out sick, but yeah, just shoot me a Venmo or a Zelle, and it's all to a good cause, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that. Thank you for coming on. I hope to get you back on soon, maybe after you get signed somewhere big. And
let's go, baby.
Other than that, stay in touch, and thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you too, bro. I really appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing because you're really good at it, man. You got 12,000 followers for a reason, and I hope that anything that I said could stick with you. And I'm definitely going to be using the quit tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. That's one of the reasons why I started the podcast to begin with, is because I love fighting. I love fighters. I love training. I love everything to do with it, from PR to fighting, literally.
Yeah.
I love it. And so I wanted to talk to other people, and not necessarily just fighters. I just wanted to talk to people of all walks of life, and get their take on it, because you can learn something from everyone. Even if that's a crackhead on the street, you can literally learn
For
something.
sure.
He's experienced something that you could never imagine, and you can take
Yep.
that and learn from it. And so whether that's a fighter, or someone else who's really successful, I just want to talk to people and expand my perspective on life, because I'm super young, and I have a lot of life to live. So I want to, maybe with the information you give me or somebody else gives me, I can spare a few mistakes that might alter me from getting a paycheck, or saving a marriage. You never know what it is, but
Yeah.
you could definitely.
I heard a quote that went like this. It's always really good to like remember quotes, but a guy said that a smart man makes a mistake and learns from it, but a wise man learns from the other person who made the mistake.
Exactly.
Then he doesn't make it at all. So
Exactly.
it's like an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Yeah, for sure. And so you definitely gave me a lot of insight, and I can never thank you enough for that. So thanks for coming on, and let's stay in touch.
Sounds good, brother. God bless you and your family, and have a blessed day.
You too, brother.
Later.